Hi guys, so it's Ash Webber here, former cop. I wrote Life's Too Short, The Jobs, which made it to a couple of papers, not by my own doing. I might be an idiot, but I'm not stupid. I've made a couple of fancy videos, you know, I'm in Spain now, etc. So all I really wanted to do was just make a very quick one now, a couple of months on. I've been out of the job, and I really just want to tell people that the water is perfect. Come on in. While I wouldn't encourage anyone to leave the job, I would say if it's even on your mind, if you're not happy, then you very much need to consider it. Get yourself a plan together and take that step, because if you were truly happy, there would be no part of your mind casting doubt. So that's all I want to say. What I actually wanted to share with you is my my actual story and my reason for going. I did get sick of the rise in social media and the fashionable police bashing and the bleating of idiots and the rising brattishness and self-entitlement and the what are you going to do about it of the public. That did sicken me. The resource level and the expectation of what you've got and people's attitude towards you and management's attitude towards you, that it did get to me. But very honestly, and it's something that I'll now speak out about, mental health played a very big part. I had severe issues with depression and anxiety back in 2008 after I lost my mum. Not in Sainsbury's, not that careless. She died while I was at Hendon, and bottled it up, didn't grieve properly, and yeah, it came to a head in 2009. Self-harming, doing a lot of things I shouldn't have been doing, and sought help, went through the counselling, went to management, and as much as I moan about the job, at that point they were superb. They were superb. I couldn't ask to be treated any better. Flash forward 9 years to 2000, or 8 years to 2017, 18, and I had very similar issues. My wife has an illness. One of my children, again, there are additional learning needs there. I began to feel very frustrated and irritated with the job. I began to feel very... It's hard to describe, isn't it? Because when you've got a cold, you've got a blocked nose. If you've got a headache, you've got a headache. If you're being sick, you're being sick. With depression, very difficult to describe. But I just felt those familiar warning signs. I was angry all the time, very down, crying for no reason, very genuinely feeling like I wanted to end my own life. I just went from here to here. My mental health plummeted, and it's frustrating because it was very hard to put my finger on. You know, I had a nice house, lovely family, materialistically driving a nice car, fantastic hobbies and interests that are ticking along, yet I could have very easily gone to sleep and not woken up. That's how I felt. I wouldn't have done it. I couldn't have put my family through it, but that's how low I felt. So I recognised that wasn't right. So I took the time off of work. I went to a GP. I sought antidepressant medication, which isn't for everybody, but it worked for me in the past. I knew that was what I should do. And I thought, well, I can take 6 months off unpaid, full pay, but for me, was that going to win my battle? And the answer was no, it wasn't. So I took 2 weeks off, took a deep breath, and thought, I need to make some changes here. Applied for a position at work that was promised to somebody else. Didn't get it, and my line manager said to me, without thinking, yeah, given the reason that you've just been off sick, I don't think they'll accept your application. Even if that was the case, I don't think as a line manager that should have been said. But I kept that very quiet. Had a big discussion with my wife and thought, I'm not well. I'm very unwell. I'm talking to the public, line managers and peers through clenched fists and gritted teeth. This isn't right. I need to reduce my hours. I have to go part-time. And there was going to be a significant financial implication to doing that, but I had to do it. I deserve better. My family deserve better. The job deserved better. So I wrote an application to go part-time on welfare grounds, got advice on how to write the application, and it was declined, it was refused, which really was a brick wall to me. This organisation that's talking about, you know, speaking about our feelings, mental health awareness, we care, speak to somebody, put yourselves first, hear the alarm bells, seek help, and I was just met with no. Okay, and it baffled me. It really baffled me. Suddenly I'm up against this immovable object. So I wrote the application again, made sure I was working 80% of hours with my team, clearly defined on there the benefits to the job of me going part-time, the savings that it would make, the fact that I would be more productive. Went as far as to say that if dropping my hours isn't compatible with my current role, I will go wherever there's a gap. I have to do this. Submitted it once again, declined, no. So I really felt low at this point. I'm reaching out and I'm just being trodden on, you know. So went to my local federation reps, sent them 2 emails each, not interested, didn't get back to me. I felt so alone at this point. It was unbelievable. Fortunately, a neighbouring borough's fed rep, I got back to me and I explained everything to them, and she was fantastic. Had a conversation with my borough commander, as I understand it, around the Equality Act and failure to make reasonable adjustments, protected characteristics, discrimination by association. Later that day, I was asked when I wanted my part-time hours to start. That was the second that I no longer trusted the organisation. Didn't like them, but I now didn't trust them. The moment legal breaches were pointing out, yes, you can have what you want, that's wrong on every level. That is the job saying we knew what we were doing was wrong and it was breaking laws, but we were going to do it anyway. That's a time when I decided to walk. So that's my story, really. They were just not interested in making legal requirement and provisions for somebody with mental health issues. And I could not, in good faith, recommend the Metropolitan Police Service as an employer to anybody. Had a good run, enjoyed my time, valuable life experience, met some great people, but when the chips were down, the help wasn't there. So I just put in for a career break. That took a very long time to go through via the new Met HR system. That was not discussed locally, but it went through centrally, so I had a month without pay. Wasn't paid for a month. My line manager, lovely chap, but rabbit in the headlights, he failed to sort it for me. It was only when I walked into the Chief Inspector's office with a letter of intended action, placed it on her desk and said, I'm suing the job, I'm taking them to court, can you sort this out? I got paid later that day. So, nah, I have no respect for the job at all. It did not help somebody who was frankly in crisis. Then there was a severe financial implication of a failure of the system. Only interested in that when I threatened legal action. So I walked. I deserve better, and my life now is fantastic. I'm really happy. I'm not here to make a plug, but I'm establishing a couple of businesses that are doing really well, quite lucrative, and there's life on the outside, folks. If you need help, ask. If the job won't help you, which is my experience, ask somebody else. So Emergency Services Humour, thanks again. You've got my details. If anyone wants to have a chat about anything at all, go for a pint, go for a cup of tea, just exchange messages. I'm a bloke who's been there and done it. I can't say I know how you're feeling, but I know how I felt, and it has been pretty down and pretty shit. I'm quite happy to have a chat with anyone. So awesome, have a great day.